details about what sparked that deadly Texas showdown between 5 outlaw motorcycle gangs. It was supposed to be a routine meetup, but soon a fistfight turned into a full-blown gun battle. We welcome ABC's Philip Mena to Nightline with this report.
It was an ordinary weekend lunch turned deadly gang shootout, a battle over biker turf in Texas, littering a parking lot with bodies.
I just got a call from passerby. They were going by Twin Peaks, thought they heard a gunshot, looked over and saw a lot of people running.
Hundreds of bikers from 5 rival gangs, including the notorious Banditos, Scimitars, and Cossacks, descending on this Waco Twin Peaks restaurant. At noon, a brawl breaks out in the restroom and spills through the restaurant and into the parking lot. Bikers using brass knuckles, knives, chains, clubs, and guns.
This is the most violent and most gruesome scene that I have dealt with.
Leaving 9 dead and 18 injured, just feet away from families having lunch. A scene seemingly ripped straight out of the violent crime drama Sons of Anarchy.
It was really, really scary. We didn't know if somebody was going to come back. They said people outside the doors had guns.
Diners and employees locked themselves in the freezer to escape the unfolding violence.
I crawled back towards the freezers with a lot of the waitresses and some other people who were there.
We had wounded inside, we had people stabbed, we had people shot, and we had people beat.
Police say the bikers were gathering for an annual biker night at this restaurant, Twin Peaks, a chain known for its good-looking waitresses. The restaurant advertising on Facebook, "Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines." Police expected trouble from the rivals and were already there when the violence erupted.
I just heard gunshots just going off, probably over 20 gunshots at least, and that's just saw people running around.
Parents carried their children to safety, police lining the more than 100 bikers on the curb and loading them into buses and squad cars. Tonight, 170 bikers are in custody, charged with engaging in organized crime. Police releasing more than 50 mugshots.
At last count, we have 170 individuals that we have arrested and are booking or have been booked into the McLennan County Jail. Those individuals are being charged with engaging in organized crime in reference to the shooting at Twin Peaks, which is a capital murder.
The FBI has called outlaw biker groups a serious national domestic threat. And tonight, Waco police tell ABC News they're still on guard.
Are you worried at all about possible retaliation?
Certainly something that we are aware of.
Police here not mincing words tonight, saying the restaurant was warned not to host this gathering. They did it anyway. And tonight, Twin Peaks corporate office now shutting down this location altogether. One of the 5 biker gangs involved in Saturday's shootout, the Banditos. They have a saying, "Cut one, we all bleed." Their ruthlessness featured on the show Gangland.
We're liable to run you down, kick the out of you, back your eyes, wreck you, something. We run the road.
Edward Winterhalter was a member of the Banditos for 6 years.
Some members of motorcycle clubs are criminals, and some of the criminal activity that goes on is not known to the members of the club.
He's written 10 books on biker culture. He says for bikers, turf is everything.
The reason it's a big deal goes back to when we were on the playground in first grade, and you had 2 bullies on the playground, and the playground wasn't big enough for both of them.
In Texas, the territorial feud between the Banditos and the Cossacks gangs has been brewing for years, fighting over the right to claim Texas on their jacket.
Last year, in 2014, the Cossacks put on the Texas bottom rocker. The Banditos told them to take it off, and the Cossacks told the Banditos that that wasn't going to happen.
This was not the first time a restaurant gathering has turned violent. In 2013, a fight broke out between the Banditos and Cossacks in Abilene, Texas. It ended in the stabbing of 2 victims. Charles Falco is a former ATF contractor who spent years trying to take out these gangs. He requested we not show his face.
I'd say half of them are full-time criminals where they're selling dope, selling drugs, involved in prostitution, or illegal gambling, any other types of crimes you can think of. For them, they're outlaws, and that's what they are.
In the U.S., biker groups are notorious for run-ins with the law. In 2013 in New York, a group of bikers pulled a man out of his car and beat him after he hit another biker. That driver testifying in court today about that attack. But many of these biker groups aren't gangs and consider themselves motorcycle enthusiasts who just enjoy a good ride.
Now, everybody across the nation thinks that when there's a pack of bikes, it's a bunch of freaking hooligans looking to beat up freaking women and rape children and crazy like that. And it's nothing like that.
Nightline spent 4 days riding with bikers in Charleston, South Carolina, who are not affiliated with gangs.
What do you say to people at home? Because I'm sure a lot of people at home are like, aren't you putting people in danger?
The guy that's up on one wheel has more control over that motorcycle at whatever speed he's at than half the people driving down the road, text messaging, putting on lipstick and talking on cell phones. I mean, you're focused.
But sometimes, like this past weekend, biker culture goes from dangerous to deadly.
I'm not surprised by how violent it got. I'm surprised by how many people lost their lives. But it demonstrates how ruthless these biker gangs are.
Edward, who claims his own former Bandito chapter was not violent, knows how things turn deadly fast, cautioning that this is likely not the end of the fallout from Sunday's horrific daylight violence.
I don't think there's any way of telling what's going to occur in the future, but I think the potential for more violence is there.
For Nightline, I'm Philip Mena in Waco, Texas.